Netflix is back with yet another anime live-action adaptation. This time they will be tackling One Piece. The series is being developed by Owens and Maeda. However, reports also suggest that the original creator will play a big part in the development of the show. Now, if you are nervous about the One Piece live-action series, you have every right to be. If you think video game adaptations are bad, then you have not seen anime yet. From Dragon Ball Evolution to Death Note, there has just been one disaster after the other. Not so long ago, Netflix came under heavy fire for their attempt to recreate Cowboy Bebop. The show failed miserably and was ultimately cancelled after just one season. You might be asking yourself how they managed to screw the live action up considering that the story was already written for them. All they had to do was hire the cast and bring the script to life. Unfortunately, they had to reimagine the story for a modern audience, and in doing so, just completely took the soul from the series. This is what happens when you hire people who do not care about the original source material. Sometimes it feels like American producers just do not understand the soul of Japanese anime. With all of that said, there is still an opportunity to create something great. If Netflix is willing to learn from its past mistakes, they actually have the opportunity to create something truly great. The story is already written for you. All you need to do is bring the original vision to life. There is no reason to reimagine anything. The first season of the One Piece live action is rumored to premiere on the 31st of August 2023. However, recent reports have already revealed that the series might be in trouble. A well-known Hollywood outlet, Divinity Seeker, recently took to social media to suggest that screen tests for the new series are struggling to resonate with fans. The leak suggests that new fans unfamiliar with the original work are struggling to keep up with the plot points. In addition to this, longtime fans are equally confused by how fast the plot is moving along. Based on the leak, all of the main cast is introduced within the first 15 minutes of the show. This includes Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. In the anime, it takes over 20 episodes for us to meet the cast. Now, if this is true, it does at least make a bit of sense. One Piece has over 1,000 episodes. There is no way that the Netflix series can drag its feet and take 2 seasons to just introduce the cast. Most people should expect a much shorter story. Another complaint is the tone of the story. The leaked report suggests that the show will just jump from overly goofy to completely serious in a matter of seconds. There seems to be some confusion in terms of what story they want to tell. Now, once again, navigating through an anime can be extremely tough. Since One Piece is such a long-standing show, they can switch between different tones quite easily. For the live action, they will have to decide on a proper direction fast. They will likely get 10 episodes per season that won't spread out over more than 5 seasons. Hopefully, this will be enough for them to tell a good story. Now, although there are some reports that suggest that the upcoming One Piece live-action series is an internal disaster, not everyone seems to agree. After the initial leak by Divinity Seeker, Werner was very quick to social media to dismiss the claims as nothing more than rumors. He stated that the original post was not even worth reading or sharing. Now, it is worth pointing out that Werner himself is not directly linked to the live-action Netflix series. However, he does have an official connection with Oda's series. Some were also quick to point out that Divinity Seeker has many questionable reports on their site. They have posted scoops in the past about Detective Pikachu's sequel as well as Harley Quinn. The latter was very quickly shot down by James Gunn himself. Ultimately, it is very hard to know exactly who is speaking the truth here. Personally, I have learned my lesson from insiders. Over the years, I have learned that there is no such thing. You have journalists who do some truly spectacular investigative work, but outside of that, it is mostly just nonsense. People will say anything in order to get attention. They will fake sources, fabricate evidence, and spin narratives in order to get their story out there. It is shameful, but most people do not care. The problem with this leak is that it is very easy to believe. Netflix has a terrible track record, so it is not too hard to believe that the show will be a disaster. In fact, I find it harder to believe that the show is doing well. Being nervous about any live action is completely understandable. As stated, Netflix does not have a very good reputation when it comes to its interpretation of things. Their track record speaks for itself. Whether they need to bring video games, books, or anime to life, it always ends in disaster. For some reason, they just do not know how to follow along with source material. However, it is worth pointing out that this is not just a Netflix problem. It is a problem that persists straight across Hollywood. There are of course exceptions to every rule. There are directors out there that can take books and turn them into wonderful movies. You do not need to look any further than Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. Even some video game adaptations have the potential to be great. The current Super Mario movie is a huge box office success. The animation, however, has the worst track record. Every time Hollywood tries to take a Japanese anime and put an American spin on it, everything just falls apart. I want to say that Dragon Ball Evolution is the worst offender of this, but Death Note might have something to say about it. It is very clear that the people being hired to bring these classic stories to life just have no respect for the original. They allow their own egos to get in the way, thinking that they can improve on an already great piece of writing. Sometimes the people being hired will even express that they are not a fan of the original work. Overall, it is going to be interesting to see how all of this is going to play out. One Piece has a long and rich history. This means that there is plenty of opportunity to tell a great story. It also means that there is plenty of opportunity to make a massive mess of the show. Going into this series, you will likely have to accept that things are going to be different from the anime. How different though I do not know. In my personal opinion, if you are not going to stay true to the original work, there is no point in even doing this. Instead, just create a new IP and call it something different. With the original creator involved with the series, I have faith that they will at least attempt to do this classic anime justice.